Rick, just your thoughts on the performance from your group tonight, especially from the second period on, where it seemed like you guys really started to drive play.
Yeah, a lot of effort from a lot of different guys. I mean, almost every single guy gave us everything they had. Resilient. I thought the guys were terrific tonight. They really came to play. It was, obviously one of our best games of the playoffs.
There's been a lot of focus on Elias in this market. What did you make of the way he played and how he got more involved in the game tonight?
Well, I think the fans are unreal. And them yelling his name was like, I mean, that was pretty cool. Like that's great fans. Yeah, I thought, he just felt really good today. I like I said this morning with the skate, I could just feel the energy. He felt really good. So I'm proud of him. It was a good game for him. Really good game. Obviously, the goal, Millsy's goal, him going to the net, that's a big play for us.
Rick, your power play tonight shut him down on 5 occasions. Was it as simple as execution, or did you make some tweaks?
The PK or the power play?
Pardon me, PK.
PK. I thought a few tweaks, a little bit more pressure. It's a dangerous power play, we held it together. That's the way I look at it.
Did Giuseppe's line tonight, outstanding game. What type of juice did that give to the rest of the team, you think?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, it's tough for a kid like Podge. I thought Podge played really well. Deej was, he had his kid there. So he said that was a big highlight, but the cherry on the top tonight, him getting the goal. I mean, it's a pretty good story. Thought Alms was good. I thought that fourth line really helped us. I thought it was good for us.
Last one, kind of lost in the mix was Sheloff's save in the first period off Connor Brown. It could have been 2-0 at that point. How big was that save to keep your team in the game? And obviously,
huge 2-goal swing. It's a money save. It could be a 2-goal swing, like you said. Like I said, I don't think the moment's too big. Solid effort from Artie.
Rick, something JT just mentioned was maybe not a different way of defending Connor McDavid, but a different way of viewing it as more attacking when they're on the ice as well. What did you think that group did differently against that line to be able to have so much ozone possession?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the guy's incredible, and he's going to get his looks. You got to defend by 5, and you can't back off. I mean, and you can't dive in. I mean, it organically has to happen. I mean, obviously we have a system how to play him, and he's had a lot of looks and a lot of he's had some good he's had a good series in the sense for that. You're not going to shut him down, but I thought we defended a little bit more aggressively against that, and I think that's the way you got to do it. But you got to be careful that you can't be diving in though.
With Niels Höglander getting back into the lineup, I know you got a chance to kind of watch the game from up above, but you've also probably had some conversations with him, I'm sure, in the last few days. Did you see some of the things you guys have talked about in tonight's game?
Yeah, I think it was a good step for him. I think sitting out, there's still more improvement. He's just got some reads there. He's got to be careful. F3, sometimes he dives in there, but I think for the most part, his energy helped us.
I want to ask you about JT. He was pretty hard on himself after the last game, blamed himself for the goal. You mentioned he sent you a text after apologizing for the game. Are you surprised that he bounced back the way he did tonight in the most important situation, given what he's done all year?
No. I mean, I've known Millsy for a year and a half now, and he obviously wears his heart on his sleeve. And he'll tell you, when he sucks, he sucks. And that's what I love about him. And there hasn't been many suck games from him. I mean, he's been a monster for me since I've been here, like since day one. And that was a monster effort, again. He does things, and obviously gets the crowd going. That helps too. That was awesome, to chant his name. So he feeds off that.
Both special team situations, and even on your breakouts to a point, you talked earlier about being outworked in previous games. Did you find that work rate changed significantly in this game?
Yeah. The power play?
Well, breakouts generally, but also power play and penalty kill.
Yeah, I thought there was just a ton of energy. I thought the power play was great. I know we didn't score or whatever, but that's the power play I love. Our mindset was attack. We had some good shots, good tacking, and I think that gives the team momentum. The way they were buzzing around and attacked, so that helped their 5-on-5 play.
Rick, after Game 4, you talked about having passengers, how you couldn't afford that. You make 4 lineup changes today, although one of them, Susie, coming back,
Sure.
and pretty clearly got the desired response in terms of the zone time you were able to. I mean, what does it say about your group and your relationship with your players that you're able to sort of elicit that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm an honest guy, and they're an honest group. They love feedback. You know, sometimes it's, you know, you got to be careful with the messaging. And they take it. I mean, that's the one thing I love this group. Even the guys that didn't play today, they were smiling, they were cheering the guys. I love that. So that's what you play for the crest. Doesn't mean they have to be happy that they're out, but you could see there were a lot of smiles in that room for even the guys that didn't play. I love that. So the bounce back or whatever you want to call it, it's been all year. I mean, you know, it happened a few times this year where it wasn't we didn't like our effort and we dealt with it. And we usually bounce back. So it's all the players. You got to give them a ton of credit.
First 10 minutes looked like you were giving up a fair bit off the rush. Game sort of turned once your forecheck took over. What was the key? Was it an adjustment? I mean, what changed this game?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I thought we gapped up a little bit better after the 10, but you know, the Raship, you know, we killed a bunch of penalties. I mean, I thought, I don't know, they get 3 or 4 in a row. It was tough. To get any momentum, and I think I don't know if it put us on our heels in a 5-on-5, but I thought the resiliency of getting through those penalties really kind of elevated our 5-on-5 play.
Just similar to that, it seemed like they're very good at the bump back. They really like putting the puck and then putting it back. Did you guys find a way to kind of cut those off as the game progressed?
Yeah, they're really good at that, and they come back to the puck and they hit the weak side. Yeah, there's I don't want to bore you guys technical how to play that, but the weak side forward has to he's got to be a little bit. He's got to be a little more aware of that when you see that bump back, because sometimes you can't have 2 guys go to the same guy and they bump it back, and that's why McDavid, those guys are so good. So it's really important our 4th guy takes the route he can to cut that off.
And about the refs, no kidding, but. To take those penalties, and some of them admittedly were probably weird calls. The resiliency your guys showed. What can you say about the way they sort of gutted it out?
The good thing is the guys weren't even. We took it. I was probably more upset. Listen, the refs. It's a tough job. They're 2 good refs. I'm not even blaming, but I'm saying I guess my point is the bench was calm, even though we were taking those penalties. There wasn't a lot of yelling, screaming, and I got to give them credit. It was more me. So I watched them. I think it was the 3rd penalty. I don't know what penalty I didn't like, and I looked at the bench. They weren't even mad, and I'm like, oh, okay, wow, these guys are dialed in. I better get my my act together. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Rick, when you talk about level of aggression and effort or work rate, how much does that hinge one way or the other based on what you're getting from JT?
Yeah.
Does that feed through the rest of your team?
Yeah. Playoff hockey from game to game is how do you get your energy? Like whether you play well or not, it's the 24 or 48 hours. How do you get your team to have that energy? And whether it's your practice or whatever. And then you have individuals. Maybe a guy has a tough night, and then you just see him 48 hours later, he does something on the ice or he's willing his team like JT. That's the key to playoffs is just that game to game. Like we'll enjoy it a little bit here, but it's over, and it's how do you get back our energy for tomorrow for the next game. That's the key, and these guys they do a great job with that. And I think we've had a crash course or a rehearsal of this in the playoff. I mean, in the regular season. Team, even I know we won. I don't know, we won 14 out of. We had a really good run one time. I don't know. I just saw the guys were like, yeah, this is great, but it wasn't. They weren't partying like it's like that. We got the parade here. There was like, no, next man, next game, and I think that helps that mentality in the playoffs. I really do.
Why do you think you guys executed better on the breakout tonight? And do you think that helped boost your ability to get the forecheck established as well?
I think urgency, and I think we did a little video presentation on some tweaks. But I thought there was more urgency for people to get to their spots. I think that a good breakout is getting back to your spots. And I thought we really read the play, and then we got there. It's not read the play, and then I got to go. I saw a little more urgency in our play when it comes to that, the breakouts.
You know they're going to throw the kitchen sink at you here
Yeah.
in Game 6. How do you prepare the group for that game?
Yeah, the next 40 hours is big. You know, what we do, how we handle, and how do you, it's a short prosperity, right? You know, we win a game, big game, right? We go up 3-2, but I mean, it's going to be so tough there Saturday night. So how do we manage these next 48 hours mentally, physically? That's the key. That's playoff hockey. How do you do that? And that's what we're going to go work on right now. I talk to you guys.